Hi, my name is Kristen Bryant, and today I'm going to show you how to make this little birdhouse card. I got this card idea from Pat McGillicuddy. She had sent me a picture of this, that it would be a great idea for my stamps in the mail. Right now where I'm focusing on the garden birdhouses and the border basics dies. These are really a great set. And so today I'm using the cloud here. And to get started, I opened up a card. I used the thick basic white cardstock, and I put this on here just to you can just kind of eyeball how much you want it to be. And then I'm just gonna stamp hello. That is part of the garden birdhouse set. I'm just going to put this on the side here. I always like to stamp when I'm using the photopolymer stamps on top of our little piercing mat. It just gives a little bit of cushion on there, so that is how you're going to do this. Now here there is some sponging. Now we used to just carry, and we had these sponges, they came in a circle, and we no longer carry those. Now we have these sponge brushes. They come in a pack of 3. And so I'm just gonna show you how to use those. So we started, with just this. And then I have a piece of also the basic white thick cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it is the exact size of the card. And I am going to just shade, put a little of the blue here to make the sky. And I like to kind of start up top. That part's not going to be seen, so just to get like to get the lighter bit down below where you're actually going to see it. And by how much you press will determine how dark it is. I'm gonna just put this on here to see, so you can see that just, I just want a little bit up there. And so I'm gonna put I like to just keep a scrap paper on here when I'm stamping, just so that I don't wreck my piercing mat, although I guess it really doesn't matter if it's got more color on it. But I'm using Old Olive with the tree branch here. And again, I'm gonna because each one's a little bit different. I'm gonna just put this branch right here. And one trick I have, if you want to make this color to blend in, I've just stamped this, and I'm using our aqua painter. You could just use a wet paintbrush, and it just kind of takes the color from the ink, again this is Old Olive, and blends it out just a little bit. Adds a little of a watercolored look. You could also use our Stampin' Blends to color in, but sometimes it's just kind of nice to use the ink from the stamp. So there is that. Now I've stamped already. This is the scrap piece that came from, well, here's the one that I actually just did, but I just took another one of these because we don't throw our paper away, do we? We're crafters, we save everything. And so I am going to quick use my Stampin' Blends. I always like to start with the lighter color. Just kind of going all over the whole one here. Then I'm gonna take the finer point of the darker one. I'm gonna do the brush. Just kind of go, well, oops, can you even see this very well? It's kind of high up. But it just adds a little accent part of it there. Now the other thing I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna take my take your pick tool and use this mat how it's designed to be, actually, for a piercing mat. And I'm just going to, I just poked a hole right in the middle of this. And so there's a hole there, and that is so that I can string my white baker's twine through there. On my scrap paper, I also ahead of time stamped the birds. Now, the nice thing about our photopolymer, like I just took 2 stamps and put them on one stamp, and then you can just stamp them. And then I did the same technique where I just took the aqua painter and let the color kind of bleed in a little bit, so it's a way to color in the birds. So for this, I'm just gonna quick trim around. There isn't a die cut for the birdhouse. The nice thing about this stamp set, the garden birdhouse, is it has 3 different birdhouses in there, so it's kind of a fun set, especially if you have some people in your life that enjoy birds. So as you can see, it's a pretty quick to cut that out. Now I wanted to show you how to just put this through the tie. I'm gonna start with it's always good to snip it right away, or right before. And sometimes I just kind of wet it too a little bit to thread it through. And of course I did the last one perfectly. And now that I'm recording, it's not. I'm going to pierce again and just make it go through. I didn't go quite through all the way. Now it'll go in easily. Operator error on that first one. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna just put this through and then tie this in a knot. So you see how it is here? And I'm gonna do it so it's not super tall because I don't have a whole lot of space. But by doing that, this just shows how it's gonna go here, and then I'm gonna tie a bow with what's left here. Again, it's always easier to tie a bow when no one's looking. Starting over. I'm also going to do it so it's not hanging in the air. Okay. Okay, now I'm just gonna make these look even. Then I'll just trim off the extra. Now I forgot to bring down from my stamping room the glue dot, because I was going to use the glue dot for that, but I'm just going to quick show you. So I'm just putting adhesive on this top flap, and then this will line up just in here. So here is the front of my card. And so now what I'll do is I'll put a dimensional on the back of here. And I have the mini dimensionals right now, so I'm gonna put on a couple of them because I use the mini for the little birds because they're so tiny that the big one will not work. So again, I'm gonna just put this at the top, then hang that there. And what I use to adhere that is a glue dot, which is upstairs in my stamp room. So that's why I'm not doing it in front of you. And then for the birds, I stamped these and cut them out ahead of time. So I just did 2 of the different birds, one that's facing left, one that's facing right. And I'm gonna use our mini dimensionals because they fit perfectly. So I'm gonna put one up here. Let's do a little one right there. So here is just kind of a fun card using the cloud dies from the Border Basics dies and our Garden Birdhouse stamp set. If you'd like to order anything, you can go to stampingwithkristen.com or you can go to kristenbryant.stampinup.net. Thanks.